Hey everyone, this is Michael with the Game Hangar, and I just wanted to offer a quick disclosure that the guest that we said we would have on episode 2 had to cancel, but we have another guest in their place instead. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Welcome to the Game Hangar, where we talk about video games and nothing but video games. We are your hosts, Brie,
And Michael.
and today we have a very, very special guest with you today, Miss Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hey, Queen.
I also love video games.
Oh,
A
yes,
lot.
yes.
For people that don't know me, I'm Sarah. I go to school for animation. I love, love, love video games. Grown up off of Nintendo games since I was like 3 years old. And then journeyed out and got into PC gaming in high school and all this. So I love video games so much and could talk on and on.
Now, I barely even knew you, not gonna lie. But you and Michael are friends. Like,
Yeah.
how did you guys meet?
So we met because at our school that we go to, there is a radio show that I also do have.
Are you in the WPPJ?
Yes, WPPJ.
Look at you.
Absolutely. WPPJ 670 AM. Please
Yeah.
listen to it on Radio Garden specifically if you want to. I'm sure there's also other outlets as well, but I mostly recall Radio Garden. I host Hour of Darkness, which usually has a lot of alternative music, specifically more so gothic stuff. It's at 4 p.m. on Wednesdays. I've been on a bit of a hiatus so far because we are getting into final season.
Yes.
And the end of our semester, but absolutely, that is where I met Michael.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. Well then, now that we know each other, let's
Yes.
get into it.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so let's talk the ball and the beautiful real quick.
Yeah.
So, did you know I saw them live?
Really?
Yes.
When they came here?
Yes.
How was it?
Oh, it was so much fun.
Oh my gosh, that's
Even though
awesome.
we weren't exactly allowed to record them,
Yeah.
I kind of did.
Oh, everyone's going to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally at the end of the show, Katya did a dance move.
Really?
Even though she literally had like hip surgery. I know.
So typical.
It's so funny.
So typical.
It's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Their podcast, I swear, they could talk on. I'm so jealous because they're such good friends that they could literally talk about anything.
Oh, they're
on a
literally
podcast.
besties.
And
They could
people
talk about
love them.
anything.
People love them.
Oh, they are. I love them.
It's one of those dynamics that's just like it works
yes.
for them, and it's helpful that they earn money via that.
Oh yeah.
I'd
And
sure love that.
these are the only like main drag queens that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But my brother can list all of
I've
them.
grown up on them too.
My brother
Yeah.
can list all of them. Like my cousin, who actually comes here as well.
Yeah.
I wanted to make her a guest on here, but it did not happen.
Yeah.
She loves Gottmik.
Oh, yeah, that makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of stopped watching after Gottmik's season. Just because they switched it to being on like a paid platform, and I was like, oh.
Oh
okay.
yeah, on it's on Paramount Plus. But
yeah, I watched All Stars 3 on my TV when I was in high school. And I
Dang,
literally,
all right.
I was on the floor like so happy when Trixie won. I know some people still delineate on that, but I was happy.
Oh, totally. Me too. All
I
right,
was very happy.
let's get started.
Sure.
Today's games are going to be Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, and
Cyberpunk 2077.
amazing. Let's get started. So, Sarah,
Yes.
what do you love about Animal Crossing?
Oh my gosh, so much. I will say I'll kind of give a background a little bit on like my journey with Animal Crossing, which was when I was younger. I really like kind of fell in love with like the DS and Nintendo DS,
Ooh.
and I had one for a little bit, and then later on down the line, I ended up getting a 3DS, and that was when New Leaf came out.
Oh,
And
okay.
New Leaf was like, I'd never seen this game before. I was more privy to like the style savvy games and, like girlier games like that. And then Animal Crossing came along, and I just fell in love with so much of it. I fell in love with the character designs, the concept of moving into a town and having your own life and discovering the soundtrack.
Yeah,
So good.
So I actually have Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yes.
Have not played that game in like almost a couple of years.
I'll give you my opinions on New Horizons in a moment.
Okay.
But,
Well, give me a teaser. Are they like...
I'm not the
iffy?
biggest fan of it.
Oh!
No, I'm not, actually. But they're so smart about releasing that during COVID. Can I tell you?
That was really
They might as well
smart.
have started COVID just to release
That honestly, it would have been so true.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
so real.
But
like,
yeah,
because it makes sense. Like, that game is so, not gonna lie, it is so time consuming.
yes, that's how they are.
Not gonna lie, I got quite bored off of it.
And I'll tell you why in a moment, why you got bored off of it. Because when it came to New Leaf, there was this sense of discovery. And I've watched a lot of videos on Animal Crossing because New Leaf is what I started with. And then
Yeah.
down the line, I'm actually a collector of
me too.
Animal Crossing stuff. So I own, I was
for
telling
Animal Crossing.
Michael this earlier, I own every single American Animal Crossing game except for like the OG Japanese, like Dotsunomori on the N64. That's like the only game I don't own.
Get the hell
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, even the app, Happy Camper, Happy Home Camper, something like that. I have
So,
that, but I heard they're
on-
also getting rid of that.
That's so real. So on my phone, I
Yeah.
have an app. It's a emulator
Yeah.
for like GameCube,
Oh.
for like GameCube games,
Yes.
like DS
yes.
games.
That's so cool that you have it on your phone. I have it
I
on my
want
PC.
to see if I can try get Animal Crossing on this. See if I.
So I don't know how well an emulator would emulate Animal Crossing games on a phone, for example, because when you emulate
how big would
it,
they be?
well, the thing is it's about the controls. So Animal Crossing has a lot
Oh.
of like, controller based like what would you call that? Just like it's made for a controller,
Okay.
So
Okay.
fishing and talking with people and how the door opens and digging up a hole is going to be a lot different for like a phone compared to like if you did it on like your computer and you just plug in a controller, whatever. I mean, emulators, they're kind of designed where like you could technically connect any form of control that you wanted, whether it be like a controller or your keyboard or I don't know, but yeah, to get on the topic of like Animal Crossing games, I started with New Leaf. I fell in love with it. And I think New Leaf, personally, this is just an opinion of mine, is like Animal Crossing perfection. Like,
Okay.
I think they peaked with New Leaf. They added and people loved it. And then they kept adding because they had an update in 2015, which kind of like peaked it further. And then they started going with these like spin-off games. They had like Happy Home Designer, Amiibo Festival, which wasn't well received. They just started to like do these sort of spin-off games. And it kind of felt like, oh, then New Leaf is the peak because they're not trying and striving for more. So when New Horizons came out, it was like, oh, well, you're going to do what New Leaf did, right? You're going to add more. But in fact, they took away so much.
No. Because
Yeah.
again, that's the only Animal Crossing game I've ever played was New Horizons.
A lot of
I've
people, it's
never-
been their first one.
Yeah, I have never like played any other games because I've never been one to just sit down and play for hours on end.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of am, but
Oh, I know
it
I have.
depends. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It depends what kind of game it is. Like if it's Stardew Valley, I will sit down
Oh,
and play
yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's I talked about this last episode, Batman Arkham Shadow
Yeah.
coming out on VR, by the way.
Oh, cool.
If you
That's
are
so
not
cool.
if you are not aware about that, it takes place in between Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum.
Okay, yeah.
You get to punch criminals in the face. Just letting you know.
In POV.
Yes.
In
Yes.
first person.
Yes. Yes. In first person. Like it's pattern based. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
But no, those are games that I will genuinely
Yeah.
play hours on end.
Then I'll give a rundown of the very first Animal Crossing game.
Yes,
So
yes. Tell me how New Leaf plays. Like what do you do? Like how like is there a storyline behind it?
So New Leaf is like maybe the third or fourth Animal Crossing official game. The OG official Animal Crossing game is called Animal Crossing. I think there's like,
That kind of makes sense.
I mean, I think it's called Animal Crossing, or I know there's Animal Crossing, there's Animal Crossing Wild World, there's Animal Crossing City Folk, and Animal Crossing New Leaf. And then after is like Happy Home Designer, Amiibo Festival, and then you have New Horizons,
Yeah.
right? So you have a couple spin-off games in between there. But the OG Animal Crossing was released to like the US on GameCube. But the OG Animal Crossing that was only released in Japan was for the N64 called Dotsunomori.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, so that game like has a lot of Japanese inspiration and has a lot of Japanese like holidays, things like that. That was more Japan centric. And then like it just did so well in Japan that they were like, let's do an American release or, you know, a
cool.
Western release. And with that came things like 4th of July and different holidays and stuff translation wise was changed up a bit. And the OG Animal Crossing I have played. I've taken a lot of time playing that. And it is a lot of fun. It's so much slower than the like later games because, you know, it's that first time discovering everything. It's during a time when video games ran a lot slower, you know, where like you were adventuring in the game, but then you have to run back to your save, right? It's a lot of that. So in the game, you know, the thing about Animal Crossing that people are so prone to is the fact that it's going via real time. If it's 7 p.m. in game, it's 7 p.m. in real life.
Yes.
And they want it to be that way. They want it to be a lifestyle game where you walk in there and you're like, oh, like, I gotta go water my flowers. I gotta go say hi to my neighbors. I gotta like check out Nook's place to see if there's new furniture. I want to collect more fish. Like, it's meant to be a lifestyle, you know, game where they want you to interact with this life as though it were your own. And don't get me wrong, some people can think like that's really boring or even kind of creepy, but it actually, from what I've seen via online, it's actually healed a lot of people, especially people going through like depression where you just feel like you can't get out and go out. Sometimes it's almost healing to have a simulation of it.
I feel that.
But at the same time, not to the point of where it's completely disrupting your life or taking over. So the OG Animal Crossing came out, and that game ran a lot slower, but it was about discovery. And that's what the Animal Crossing games are supposed to be. It's supposed to be you're entering this new life, you're the new mayor, you're the new neighbor, you're like whatever, and you're just coming into this brand new lifestyle. You have your own house, you're paying off some debt, whatever, but it's so charming. And so, like, you know, like, it plays really well. The music's nice. You just feel this homey feeling as you're playing it. And overall, like, the idea of discovery was, like, you know, like, maybe people would give you tasks to do, or there'd be new holidays coming around, or new events, or, oh, this place is getting upgraded. The idea was discovery and homely feelings. And that's, like, what the creator wanted for the games, was this idea of, like, homely feeling, discovery. And that rings throughout all of the Animal Crossing games except
New Horizons.
Oh. And I would say Happy Home Designer does have kind of a homely feeling of like, look, you have a job now. Cozy, you know? Like, I don't know.
Wait,
like...
I'm sorry. Wait.
Yeah.
The home designer gave you a job.
Yes. So, okay, I don't know if you know this, but so in New Horizons, they added these updates of Happy Home Designer. But prior to that, there was a standalone game called Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, and it used all the assets from New Leaf. That's why it was still made for the 3DS.
Yeah.
And in it, you worked under, like, Lyle, you know, that random guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who's part of, like, who's, like,
Oh.
raiding your home.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they were like, you know who you could work for? Him. And Tom Nook. So you're an employee.
Working for Tom Nook makes sense, but Lyle? Really?
Well, he's part of it,
Well,
yeah.
that's fair,
and
but...
your whole goal, it's actually quite a fun game where your whole goal is, they kind of made it more so for like the amiibos aspect, but you could actually like make and design homes for Animal Crossing characters, and they could give you any sort of theme, and you'd be like, oh yeah, like I can do that. And the other best part is you lived in this town that was considered like run down or whatever, and they'll give you jobs where you can design the cafe, design the school, design the office building. It's a lot of fun, honestly. It's just once you finish your town, you're kind of like, oh, like it's a little boring, and they recommend you like buy like your favorite amiibo characters so you can design their home. So the game eventually does have a set ending, I would say.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, you can still open up the game and like redesign buildings, redesign people's houses if you want to. But I do think it's interesting that they later added that as like an update into New Horizons and did it a bit differently. I'd say better, because there's a lot more you can do in that update.
Yeah.
But in like OG Happy Home Designer, you're not like the new guy in town. It's just like, welcome to the company.
That's fair.
You
That's-
work for
that's-
us now.
Yeah,
Lethal
that's-
Company reference.
Yes,
Lethal
welcome to the
Company
company. No, literally. Like, your new job is having a 9 to 5. Like, the game. Yay!
No, that's so funny.
So yeah, then it went from New Leaf to New Horizons, and I must tell you,
What did they take away?
I'll tell you all that they took away.
Oh, you gotta tell me everything.
So the thing about New Horizons is during the time New Leaf had been out, and people had been New Leaf had been out for so long that people were just so into it that they were even hacking their 3DSs in order to design towns in specific ways so that trees could be in a certain place and, grass could grow on the bridges, things like that. And so little things like that where they could just add all these touches, and people were visiting other people's towns and dream worlds. And literally there are YouTube channels of people who dedicated their time to just having chill streams where you were on Animal Crossing doing your everyday regular thing, or you were visiting people's edited or shall I say hacked towns. And overall the game had been out for a while. There was an update, like I said, in 2015 for more amiibo based stuff. That's also where you got the camp in it, and that is what led into the app, which I should know the name of. It's called Happy Camp, or Animal Crossing, Happy Camp, something. It's an app, right?
Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, and in it you actually have a campsite where you can house your favorite villagers, and you can decorate it and design it. You can design your camper, and there was this camping theme that they were bringing into the mix, which I thought was interesting. They've tested the waters before with different themes that they bring in. There's this home design theme. Now there's this camping theme, and then all of a sudden there's an island theme. Ooh, but yeah, so with New Leaf, there was already this everyone really loved it. Everyone loved the fact that you could carry multiple things into your pocket. They loved that you could design the room, but then people took it a step further with hacking and wanted to design a bit more. And so with New Horizons, when that came out, everyone was really hype about the designing opportunities, the things that they would add. For example, in New Leaf, you had the town that was separate, that had all these shops that you had to work in order to get them, whether it be donations or just over time. If you upgraded your house after a certain point, certain things would open up. And mind you, it's about discovery. It's you're discovering things. New Horizons comes along and you have an island. Okay, not entirely cozy in my opinion. I think being on a deserted island is kind of not that cozy compared to moving into a new town. And all these characters that you're being introduced to are kind of your same old characters that you've seen. But keep in mind now, there's no upgrades. It's just sure, you can move where the building is placed, but the buildings don't upgrade anymore. Nook doesn't upgrade into a supermarket anymore, or an emporium, a mall of all things.
Dang.
New Leaf, you got it so upgraded that they brought Gracie Grace, who was a character introduced, I think in the OG, where all you did was wash her car or whatever. You peasant. And I know it's a she, but actually I have heard that in Japan it's a he. So listen,
just like Chica for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Absolutely, or non-binary, who knows? But
Who knows?
At the end of the day, there was just so much added into New Leaf, so much upgrading and so much discovery. You had Shampoodle, who we didn't see since City Folk, which was now you're living in a town, but then you go on a bus into the city, and then New Horizons comes along and it's awesome. There is no mall. There is no city. There is simply nothing but a stick on the ground. And even better, you get to craft. So now, instead of using your shovel all the time and as much as you want, it breaks after a while. And then you have to
make a new
fix it. I'm this is starting to remind me of, what's it? Oh, Minecraft. What are you, why did we turn Animal Crossing into a crafting game? There's plenty of crafting games. The idea with Animal Crossing is it was about discovery and being look, you're in this new world and look, new little things happen. But the problem is during COVID, everyone got the game. Everyone was okay, I'll build up my island, I'll unlock stuff, whatever. But then everyone had to wait for updates. And it was so is the game finished or not? Because if I'm sitting there waiting for updates, I don't think your game's finished, dude. I mean, we lost so many characters. Now, like, Tom Nook is just like kind of the guy sitting at the front desk, you know? Sure, Timmy and Tommy have their own shop, but it doesn't upgrade. Nothing changes about it whatsoever. It just turns from a tent to a building. People begged and pleaded for Brewster to be added because they had no intention of adding Brewster at all. You want to know what Brewster was in New Leaf? Oh, he was his own little coffee shop that you could put anywhere you wanted within range. And it was cute, and you could walk into your little coffee shop in your town that you designed because you were the mayor. And now New Horizons is over here like, yeah, you're the representative of the island. I was like, this sounds like a hostage situation. Like, no, sweetie, you're not here against your will. You get to terraform. You know, you get to make sure that mountain is higher than that one. Like, you know, it just felt so confusing to me, and it did not feel cozy to me.
No, whenever I first played it, this is the only game from Animal Crossing I've played.
Right.
I just felt like that this was like what you said, Minecraft, because I had to craft and I had to dig and fish, and I mean the only good part was that if you had a friend who had the same exact game just on a different Switch and stuff like that, played online, you can fly to their other island via airplane.
Yeah, you want to know what you could do for free? Before they made you pay for an online service for Nintendo, you could take a train, or you know, dream your way into somebody else's town. Like just so much was taken away and added.
Before they had to pay $10 a month.
Yeah. I don't know, because I think when the game came out, it was very smart because everybody was inside and basically like searching for something that could pass the time. And I totally get that. But when you're waiting for updates and when finally your town is the way you want it to be and everything, what do you do after? All of the animals, they don't really have personalities much anymore. They're more NPC than the NPCs I've ever seen. You know, like there was just no more discovery. The discovery was wait for this next update, wait for this. And I was like, I feel like I'm in like a situationship with Animal Crossing. And I don't like that.
The discovery is no longer in the room.
No, have a finished game, and then if you want to add an update, add an update. New Leaf, that was a finished game. They had all their stuff there, and they were like, hey, like, let's add another thing. Let's update it for 2015. And I was like, okay, you know? And it's just some extra little stuff, and, you know, you can either take it or leave it, but no matter what, New Leaf is a set game, and New Horizons did not feel like a set game to me. Even to this day, I don't think I could return to it and be like, return to it with a fresh start. I'm not going to lie. New Leaf, I could return to it with a fresh start always, you know? But there are some things that New Horizons did do well. Designing houses is a lot easier. You can actually like carry a lot more stuff in your pockets.
Yeah, I did notice that. But
New furniture is cool.
Yeah, your storage also gets filled up really easily from that.
Yeah, I always recommend people play some of the older games just to get that discovery aspect.
Right.
Because the games really can stand alone on their own, depending on the person. City Folk can be its own. The OG Animal Crossing can be its own game. And I don't know. If I was introducing someone to Animal Crossing, I would not hit them with New Horizons first at all. No. I'd hit them with literally any of the other games.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, no. The app game that we were talking about is Pocket Camp.
Pocket Camp. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
I remember playing on it for a little bit, and I'm like, this is boring.
I'm not gonna lie though, if we get into soundtracks, so my big thing is video game soundtracks. I am obsessed with so many different video game soundtracks,
and we will get into that later on after we try and talk about a futuristic GTA style video game.
Oh yeah. Overall with like Animal Crossing, that's the big thing I think people hook onto is the soundtrack. It's so cozy.
It is.
It's geniusly made.
Honestly, speaking of the soundtrack, did you see the video of? It was like called Eternal Crossings.
No.
It's Isabella and Doom crossover.
Yes, I have seen that.
Yeah, that's what the song's called. It's called Eternal Crossing.
Oh my god, that's so cool. Well, regarding like soundtracks, my little tidbit here for Animal Crossing, so we can get into other topics as well, is that it was so geniusly made in my opinion because there's a new song for every hour, and then we get to New Horizons. And
is it just like one thing?
The music is just not. It doesn't hit.
It's not there. No,
it's not there.
I played it. I'm like, where is the music? Because all I hear is footsteps and grass and water, and I'm like.
And the worst part
is
the music is all based off of the main New Horizons theme. Whereas in the other games, sure, there were nods to the main intro theme, but there was also just like such cuteness and uniqueness with it. Each game has its own unique soundtrack, but New Horizons, I gotta tell you, falls so short of My Girl New Leaf.
That's so true.
So short.
That's so true. Now, I have one last question before we move into Cyberpunk 2077.
Sure.
How long would it take for you to 100% New Leaf?
So there are a lot of streamers that have done it, and I think I've seen it take maybe a year for someone to.
Wow. For real?
Because think about it, you're collecting all the fish. You're collecting all of the, that's the thing is the game doesn't tell you what you need to do to 100% it. You have to kind of distinguish what that could be. Because there's some things that you just can't do. I'm not sure you could collect all of the furniture, I'm not sure you could collect all of the wallpapers, all of the, so it's just kind of based around what you consider an 100%ing. So maybe it's upgrading your house, collecting all the fish, collecting all the bugs, it could be those kinds of goals, but realistically the game is not designed to have an end goal. It's meant to be life. It's meant to be you can hop into it whenever, and no one ever dies in the game except for a cockroach. So
that's true.
There's no death in the game.
It's eternity. That's true. That's true. All right. Well, thank you for your input on Animal Crossing. I've always wanted to know how people enjoyed that game without wanting to fall asleep. Not gonna lie.
I highly recommend people play New Leaf, play the OG.
I was gonna say I think New Leaf is gonna be the best way to go.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Whoever
New
has
Leaf
a 3DS.
is on 3DS. Yes, I will not plug emulators. I will not plug emulators.
No,
I won't plug those.
Phone emulators are different, but I gave my ex a Raspberry Pi one year. It's like a Christmas gift.
Like I said, I will not plug emulators, but they are out there. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
They are out there.
Yeah. All right. Now, to transition from a cozy discovery type of game all the way to a futuristic I guess GTA. I've never played it.
A futuristic, batshit crazy game.
Is it open world?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Please also feel free to ask questions, because I'm going to ask him questions on how Cyberpunk works and how Keanu Reeves literally made it into the game. John Wick is in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Cyberpunk 2077. On release, it started out really terrible.
I was going to say, didn't have so many bugs that it had to
A lot of people hyped it up too, you remember?
So many bugs, so many glitches. It was borderline unplayable.
Yeah.
And people were anticipating that release. But then 10 years later, CD Projekt Red, the creators of the game, they polished it up and re-released it. And now it's a really good and polished game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good to know.
I've played it. They've come out with what I assume is their only DLC. I hope it's not their only DLC, because Phantom Liberty is so good. But for those who don't know, the story of Cyberpunk is that you can choose between 3 different kinds of quote classes. You can choose between Nomad, Street Kid, and Corpo, which they don't really impact the game that much. They just impact some dialogue options and the beginning of the game. Because each of those options has a very different intro from each other. But with all that, eventually you meet this guy, Jackie. He becomes your kind of crime partner in a sense. And during a job at Konpeki Plaza, which is owned by the biggest corporation in Night City, which is where the game takes place, something goes heavily wrong, and they're trying to steal this item called the Relic, which is basically a shard that has an engram of a personality on it, so a digital personality. And when things go wrong, V, the main character, they have to slide it into their head, and from there, you just see Johnny Silverhand, the construct, the engram that was on that shard, and he's the one that's played by Keanu Reeves.
Now, by sliding into your head, how do you... What do you mean by that?
Okay,
It's
so
like a chip, right?
okay, so
that sounds
so
weird.
in the Cyberpunk universe, like everybody has cyberware basically implanted into them, and there's a space in their head where they could like insert different kinds of shards, like information, like credit shards, like
So is it like a USB?
kind of.
Kind of like that, yeah. So from what I know of the game, because I watched gameplay during when it first came out, it's the idea of like everybody has these like upgrades. Like if you've ever seen the movie Robots, they're all about like, oh, don't be an old robot, get upgrades, be a new robot. That's like kind of how it is, where everybody has like these upgrades, everyone has these spaces for chips. And from what you described, it seems like the chip that the character ends up getting has that character that Keanu Reeves plays helping them?
No, so it's a.
Oh, so he's the bad guy.
Yes, so he.
Keanu Reeves is the bad guy.
So
Well,
he
that's
when
a
he
first.
so in order for me to talk about that, I have to talk about how he died, which is
Oh,
it-
okay, wait.
yeah.
Not too many spoilers for
Okay.
anyone that's...
Okay.
Well, we've already had an entire spoiler alert for Batman Arkham Shadow. I don't think this is going to be any different.
All right, cool. Then
Yeah.
continue.
So basically, Johnny Silverhand was a terrorist in the year 2021.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he basically planted a bomb, like 2 nuclear bombs inside Arasaka Tower, which is the big corporate entity that
There wasn't a
basically-
twin to that tower, was there?
No, there wasn't.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, continue.
No. But he planted those nuclear bombs, and then Saburo Arasaka, the guy who runs Arasaka, he basically captured Johnny Silverhand and brought him into his private residence and basically like tortured him essentially. And he he was killed by, I think. No, he wasn't killed by them. He went through this process called Mikoshi, which basically took his. It's hard to explain. It's really technical, but it took his personality, which is his engram, and put all of it onto a chip, like a shard.
Okay.
Oh, God damn.
Yeah. And so now he's just like an AI that's on a shard,
Oh my
but he still has
gosh.
his personality.
Imagine being like your whole personality's on a flash drive.
Yeah.
Like me on a Hello Kitty flash drive. Like, you know, if anyone wanted to...
me on the Jason Todd flash drive. I've had a lot of people say like your personality is like Jason Todd. I'm like, damn, all right.
That's a lot.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
wow.
so this shard, V, the main character of the game, is trying to steal it for a job, and then when things go wrong, they slot it into their head, into the little slot that we were talking about earlier.
Into a USB port. No, kidding.
Oh my gosh.
It's more like an SD card port, but like
So it's like your phone. Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Oh, it's like the little side ports of an Apple phone.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It's like those.
And
Or an SD card, whichever.
Yeah.
Whichever, it doesn't matter.
Whichever
and
people know.
essentially throughout the game, the relic is slowly killing V, and they have to try to figure out a way to free themselves of the relic, which leads them to like meet new characters, of course. And the base game has 6 different endings, but Phantom Liberty added 3 more endings to the game. So now there's like 9 endings to the game that you can get.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So the Cyberpunk video game, and then later down the line came the Cyberpunk anime. Are those connected at all?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So the anime happens like I think 2 years before the game actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and there are
There was an
references.
anime?
Yeah.
Yes, there's an anime.
there was an anime.
Yes,
Cyberpunk
yes, there
Endrunners.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the anime is heavily referenced in the game.
Okay, interesting.
There's even a mission that you could do to get the main character from Cyberpunk Edgerunner's jacket.
Because my interpretation with Cyberpunk was it was heavily hyped. It came out. It didn't do very well. It needed work. And then later, like years down the line, this anime comes out and everyone starts hyping up like Cyberpunk again. And the anime did well. I've had a lot of friends who've like gone out, cosplayed these characters. I've seen clips on social media, but I didn't know necessarily how connected they were.
Oh yeah, they're literally part of the same universe, like 2 years apart. I think it's 2 years apart. Don't quote me on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're literally in the same universe, same city.
Yeah.
It just happens at different times.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's a quest in the game where you can get the jacket of the main character from Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't meet any of the Edgerunners characters, but you can also get a shotgun from a certain character in Cyberpunk Edgerunners as well.
So comparing this game to like other games, for example, because I know with Animal Crossing we were kind of talking about like if you're introducing people to games like this, like what makes Cyberpunk kind of stand out compared to like, because to me when I think of Cyberpunk, sometimes my brain goes to like, well, do you want to be in like a sci-fi world, or do you just want to play GTA where you're like, I don't know, in San Francisco or something, right? Or there's things like Half-Life, which gives you that dystopian feel. There's plenty of games that I'm sure are similar to Cyberpunk, but what makes Cyberpunk kind of like stand out?
Yeah, I would say the variety of like how you can play is what makes it stand out, because with the cybernetics that you can get, you can either play as like a hacker, like which they're called net runners in the game, or you can use a Sandevistan.
And I'm sorry, it's different from Destiny, the Destiny games as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Another sci-fi game.
yeah.
Big sci-fi game.
So basically, you can either you could either be a net runner, you could use a Sandevistan, which a Sandevistan basically slows down the time around you, but doesn't slow you down. Which basically it actually doesn't slow down time. It makes you speed up, essentially, because it can't slow down the time. Makes you speed up to where others perceive you as like moving really quick, and it makes you perceive like you're moving normally and everything else is moving slowly, which is really interesting because that's normally the build I go for. But you can also just not have any cybernetics as well and just go in with guns and katanas, swords, all that stuff.
Guns ablazing.
Yeah, that's true.
And right now my build in the game is a kind of a blitz. I would say blitz because I'm using like a shotgun, assault rifle, and a pistol.
Can you tell us the difference between the options you get to choose in the beginning of the game?
Oh yeah, so Nomad, basically you start out in the desert, the Badlands, and you're fixing up your car, and essentially what Nomad is you just like you don't have a crew, no clan, and you're just on your own. And
like a nomad.
Yeah. Street kid, basically you do plenty of gigs for the higher, like the fixers who like give you jobs and all that, and you just make your living off of that and you build a reputation on that. Corpo, you start out in a corporate setting. You're like one of the higher ups in Arasaka, and it's I would say that's the one I play through the most, just because I think it offers the most dynamic choice settings. Because throughout the game you can choose different dialogue options or like regular options based on what you choose in the beginning of the game.
So run it back. You can either be a nomad where you are like surrounded by no one, kind of walking into the city. You can be a street kid where like you are a part of the city, maybe even in like gang related stuff, but you're like well known. Or you could be like a higher up, like in corporate. You could be like more of like not the white collar, but like, you know, like the more, what is it, like normal citizen walking around type thing.
Yeah.
I would just call it a citizen type.
Yeah, just citizen, street kid, or nomad. Yeah.
I think it's important to mention that no matter what you choose, it all leads down to the same path
Outcome.
where you meet Jackie, everything goes wrong, and then you have to free yourself of the engram.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but the corporate option actually has you get fired from Arasaka.
Realistic.
Yeah, because you didn't do the job the way the guy liked, and so you kind of lose your implants, and well, not lose your implants. You lose access to your implants, and then you just go from there. That's basically each of those three options goes until a certain point where you meet Jackie, and then
Gotcha.
once you meet Jackie, it's like you play 10 minutes of the game, and then it's just a fixed point for each thing.
Now, is this still like, obviously you can do whatever like tasks are given to you via the choice that you make in the beginning, whether it be Nomad, Street Kid, or Corpo. Now, I have seen different scenes where like you can pick and choose like what character you like flirt with or end up with. Is it like a Baldur's Gate situation in that sense?
No.
Okay, interesting. I'm just asking because you never know.
So, Baldur's Gate 3 has
I'm
like
thriving for that.
Baldur's Gate 3 has like 8 different romance options.
Right.
Cyberpunk has 4.
Which is why we delineate, because
Yeah.
there are games like that where you have so many different options and can replay it in so many different ways.
And even then, the romance options in Cyberpunk are conditional.
Okay.
Because 2 of them you have to be the female V, Valerie.
Got you.
And the other 2 you have to be male V, Victor.
Got you.
Wait, wasn't it Vincent?
No, it's Victor.
I thought it was... Okay. Well.
It's either Victor or Vincent.
No matter
actually.
what, it's V.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No matter what, it's a V.
No matter what, it's V. But yeah, so Judy and River. I forget her last name. But Judy and River, they're both the options for the female, and then Panam and Carrie are both the options for the male character.
Okay. Yeah. So, because I'm so interested in soundtrack, I know that Cyberpunk has a very interesting soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say the soundtrack for Cyberpunk kind of dives into synth rock.
Synth rock.
Yeah, I would say. A lot of it is instrumental, and it's like kind of hardcore instrumental.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in combat. But then you get the radio, and you get different stations.
Oh, cool!
Yeah.
Like in Fallout.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh.
Since the most recent update, they added a portable radio where you could just listen to music as you walk.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have like, what is it? I think it's like 13 or 14 different music stations you could tune into, each with like
That's
a different
really
genre of music.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack is like golden. I've like filled up a lot of my Spotify playlist with stuff from Cyberpunk alone.
Oh my gosh. So in terms of replayability, would you say that Cyberpunk, like, you can bump in, you can get the storyline? Because in most games, for people like that might not know a lot when it comes to video games, there's always like a story mode and then like an open world mode where you can finish the story mode and then the world is like your oyster to go out and do side quests, or it's simply just a story mode. Usually, Steam games kind of have that where they want it to be just a set story. But in terms of replayability, how much is there to choose from?
So it's very replayable. I am on my 11th playthrough right now.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
No shot. No shot.
Yeah, I'm on my 11th playthrough, and I would say what makes it unique with the replayability is that when you're starting up the game, they give you the option to skip the prologue.
Okay, yeah.
And then you just get like a bunch of weapons, and like you get 20 levels from wherever you start from. But it gives you the option to start at the prologue or start at Phantom Liberty, like the DLC.
I must tell you, I think when it comes to games like this specifically, because similar games in my eyes that have different genres are like Skyrim, GTA, it's this concept of like, what space do you want to be in? Do you want to be in like a medieval space where there's dragons and sorcerers? Do you want to be in a more realistic space where maybe you're like a gangster in the city? Or do you want to be in a sci-fi space? And do you think that the reason why people might come back to the game is maybe just like their aesthetic of like, oh, I like sci-fi comforts me, like I want to go back to this, time and time again?
I definitely think that could be part of the reason. But personally for me, I enjoy the story completely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The story, I think, is what makes it. But Night City also, it's gorgeous. Even though it's like not a good city, it's still a really like nice looking city. Yeah.
The design, story, soundtrack, so much plays into video games. I would love to be a part of game design in the future. know that unfortunately, when it comes to being an artist, it is heavy, heavy, heavy competition, and a lot of places get dropped during projects or after projects or even right before projects start. So I love talking about video games. I love talking about all that goes into them. And I'm more so interested in Cyberpunk just because, like, when it came out, it was like, okay, it's a sci-fi, esque game, but what makes it stand out from, like, other sci-fi-esque games? I'm sorry, the only sci-fi games I kind of know are typically, like, horror games.
Yeah.
You're thinking, like, Dead Space, Half-Life, Alien Isolation even.
Well, yeah. There is this other game that I absolutely adore. I'm planning on meeting one of the characters very soon at a Comic-Con. I guess technically it's sci-fi. Do you know about Detroit Become Human?
Yes.
Okay.
That too.
So we're going to have to break this off into like a two-part because I personally am running out of time.
All right. So that's all we have for today's episode. Be sure to listen to us on Spotify, and that's also where you'll find part 2 to this episode next week.
Where it will either be it'll either be Legend of Zelda or Detroit Become Human. Either one, based off of the soundtrack. Because both of those games have great soundtracks.
Well, if we're talking about soundtracks with video games, I've got a plethora of music to talk about. Absolutely.
I am really debating on whether we're going to have have an entire episode of just soundtracks.
Yeah.
So we could totally do that.
Yeah, and I also think another cool thing as well would be RPGs. Specifically for me was RPG horror games.
Ooh.
Actually, you want to talk soundtracks?
Ooh. All right.
Good shit.
All right.
But yeah, so like we said, catch us on Spotify. We will try to upload weekly or bi-weekly.
Yes. Well.
Also, happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Oh yeah,
Happy
Thanksgiving,
people.
I
go
think
home.
our next episode will
Happy
be
holidays.
bi-weekly because I won't even be here.
Yeah.
Even though it'll be like a half-hour commute, I'm probably not going to be up here. Probably not. Probably not.
Happy holidays to people. We are getting into those holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me have Thanksgiving first real quick. just
I've started listening to Christmas music. I'm sorry.
Listen. By the time it's November 1st, Sabrina Carpenter has already defrosted with a nonsense Christmas.
Well,
Mariah Carey has been defrosted.
She's out.
Who's next?
I hear her. Oh, who's next?
Yeah, who's next?
Oh,
who's
Michael Bublé.
Who's next? Yes.
Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
He's dead.
But
Wait.
he's still here. He's out. He'll be out. He'll be on the radio.
Oh, he will be totally.
Yeah, but
yes,
yeah, totally.
Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving.
A lot set up for next
late.
week or the week after.
Oh yeah.
Yes. A lot will be set up for the next episode, the part 2 of this, where I will have more time, and
I also have a list of video games to talk about as well.
Yeah.
Send
because
me that list.
At my school there is a writing for video games class. I sadly can't take it because of prerequisites, but there's a list of games that they're going to be like looking into, and I totally think we could talk about them.